All right, friends, we are back, and today we're going to be cracking open the grilled chicken and mushroom wild rice pilaf from AlpineAire Foods. AlpineAire Foods is a Switzerland-based company, although it says product of USA. I think the parent company is out of Switzerland. But anyways, this is the first time trying this meal right here. Now, if this is your first meal of this, the first video of this nature that you're going to be watching here, let me get you up to speed as far as what you can expect. In a moment, I'm going to go through A to Z on this thing, including the nutritional facts on the back of this here. I'm going to talk about how to prepare this. Then we're going to crack this open, take a look at what it looks like before we hydrate it, and then we're going to make it up and we're going to try it, and I'm going to let you know what I think of this meal. The whole premise behind this here is if you decide to go out there and, well, first off, if you jump on Amazon and you do a search for freeze-dried meals, friends, there are quite a bit on there. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean if I score this meal high that you're automatically going to like it, because let's face it, we're all different. But if I say this tastes like ass, and well, who knows? Everybody's taste buds are a little bit different. But the point being here is, if you go out there and decide to spend your hard-earned money on this freeze-dried meal, at least from a visual and from a, hey, what did that guy think of it standpoint, you're going to have a good idea as far as what your dollar is going to get you. But anyway, let's discuss this here. One of the first things that I notice on this package here is they have this metric tape measure up against the side of this here. I thought that was kind of cool. And so, and you're out and about, and I was going to say, if you catch a fish, and that's still a small fish, so you're not going to measure a fish with that. But either way, it's kind of cool packaging. All right, so this has 530 calories per package, 28 grams of protein, and let's see what other things that stand out in the package here. Okay, we're going to flip this thing open, and so there is 2 servings on this package right here. So it turns out the 530 is the dual serving. So as I say over and over again, if you happen to be a single serving sort of person, I'll have the nutritional facts on the screen here so you can just kind of pay attention to those. But in terms of calories, again, we're looking at 530 calories. Total fat, we have 10 grams saturated fat, 5 grams trans fat. We have 0 grams cholesterol, 60 milligrams, sodium, 1840. Yeah, that's a little high there. Total carbohydrates, 51 grams. Dietary fiber, 3 grams. Total sugars, 9 grams. Included sugars, 0 grams. Total protein is 28 grams. Then, of course, down on the bottom, there are some other items in here that if you want to make note of that, I will put on the screen here. If you want to take a look and see what ingredients, there is quite a healthy list here. I will put them on the screen, and you can pause the video and take a look at what they are cramming into these here. Now, we can see a expiration date here. It looks like 8/5/2028, so about a 5-year shelf life on here. Now, as we've discussed many times over and over again, making these meals they're all relatively the same. You crack it open, you pull the oxygen absorber out, you add whatever water they tell you to, close it back up, and off to the races. So this is no different. We're going to open pouch and remove the oxygen absorber. Prepare in pouch or other suitable container. Oh, interesting. That's the first one that talks about or a separate container. Interesting. So I wonder what they consider a suitable container. Obviously, it has to be sealed up. But anyways, interesting. So we're going to add 1.5 cups or 12 ounces of boiling water to this here, which we have that already prepared. It says to fill up the easy fill line, number 6. Okay, stir thoroughly, then seal pouch or cover. Let sit for 10 to 12 minutes. Stir again and serve. All right. But before we go that, we're going to crack this sucker open. We're going to take a look. Ooh, I don't know why I smelled the oxygen absorber. I'm smelling this. Wow, this smells really good. And I know I say that a lot, but before you hydrate these meals, often in cases you don't get much smell. This smells really tasty. So let's take a look at that there. Okay, where's my spoon? Okay, so we have, these are little bits of chicken here. It looks like there. Oh, we have some pretty good sized chunks of mushroom here. We see that rice. And I'm guessing once we once we add this water, a lot of this rice that is kind of camouflaged in here is going to really start popping out there like that last peak refuel meal that we just did there. But look at all the greens and all the seasoning and the long grain rice in here. Wow, this is looking pretty darn good, and it smells good as well. Okay, enough of that. Let's put this back in the pouch here. Boom. All right. Here we go. So, all right, we're going to add just a little bit there and start. We'll stir that around, start getting things. All right, so as I stated a moment ago there, sure enough, we can start seeing some of that rice already popping out. And I'm telling you, as kind of expected for me to say, because I say it in almost every one of them because it is so true. The moment you start adding that water, and this is no different, boy, that aroma from this is really coming up here. And look at that, yeah, all that rice is long grain rice is really beginning to pop out there. Let's get the rest of this water in there. And boom, okay, there we go. All right, we're gonna get a really good stir, and this isn't really liquidy here. I hope that rice is. Two things I hope is going to happen here. I hope I was right on the water that I put in here, or that rice is going to absorb it, because that is really liquidy in there. All right. And we are, that was 10. Okay, it says 10 to 12 minutes. We'll go 12 minutes. Hey, Siri, set timer for 12 minutes. Okay, I'm going to share with you, before we jump into a quick intermission to, well, we're going to jump forward with that 12 minutes. I have something funny to share with you. So as you guys see, and you heard me say, hey, Siri, set timer for that certain time frame. And she's trying to set it up again. For how long? No, beat it. So many of you may know, I edit these videos myself. And so when I always have my phone next to me as well. And so when I'm editing the video and it gets to this part of the video where the computer is obviously, it's playing that audible me there that says me asking for that timer. Every single time I do one of these videos here, the timer starts up in the evening when I'm editing. But anyways, let's jump forward to 12 minutes. Okay, time is up. Now, make sure my volume of my computer is down. Now it's time to crack this open as the instruction says. Okay, this is, I'm gonna let this sit a little bit longer. That looks quite watery still. And that's been 12 minutes. But it does smell really tasty though. So we're gonna stir this up. And what I'm going to do is allow this to sit. We'll let it sit for a few more minutes, because this does look quite liquidy. Yeah, it smells awfully delicious, but very liquidy. So that's been stirred up a little bit more. So we're going to seal this bugger up. And hey Siri, set timer for 3 minutes. Okay, now this is a additional, one thing I noticed is the Ziploc on this thing does not seal pretty well. Okay. All right, so the directions called for 10 to 12 minutes. We originally had it in for 12 minutes. It looked pretty liquidy. As we can see here again, we let it sit for another 3 minutes. And again, I'm not going to knock it. It smells quite delicious, but this is a little bit more liquidy than. Let me make sure that's in frame there. Actually, that looks pretty. I take back what I said a moment ago. That looks darn. Uh-oh, there we go again. It's funny. The other day I was editing one of these videos, and I noticed I had said darn in the video like 7 times. I was half tempted to put on the screen having a darn counter.
Stop it. Get some help.
So I want to avoid saying that because I hate that word. Okay. I have to say, from a color standpoint, this looks, make sure we're in frame. This looks really, really tasty. I mean, look at the balance of color. Let's talk about color first. I'll get into, obviously, the smell here in a moment, but this looks really, you have all these different colors, well balanced. There's that green. Visually, I have to say, this is one of the better looking freeze-dried meals we have seen there. I think that 3 minutes really did it nicely. There's just a lot more liquidy than typically a lot of these freeze-dried meals, which is, it actually caught me off guard a little bit here. This is looking pretty darn good. I love the balance of the colors, a little splash of the green here with the brown rice in there. This is looking like it's ready to take a dive into there. So again, we can see all those little bits of chicken, the various different types of grains of rice in there. Those little green bits, let's see, what is that? Diced chicken. Okay, hydrated vegetables. Okay, so onion, celery, parsley, spinach, garlic, carrot in here. Okay, it is go time. Now, I will say this has a very kind of a pea soup texture to it. Certainly doesn't smell like it, but it has that texture to it. So let's give it a go. Here we go. Okay. One of the things which is ironic, because I know for a fact we had 12 ounces of water in this here, and we were over 200 degrees. So this was really piping hot. When we first cracked that open at 12 minutes, it was looking pretty liquidy, so we gave it another 3 minutes. I'm getting a lot of crunch here. So even after the additional 3 minutes here, there is rice, I believe. The rice isn't cooked all the way. You can hear those crunches right now. Flavor-wise, it has kind of like a really full flavor on the back end. Quite rich in herbs and seasoning in a good way. But the hydration, I'm guessing you could probably easily have gone with yet another 2 minutes on this. So make an additional 5 minutes over the suggested 12 minutes. And I'll put the elevation, in case any of you are wondering. I'm in Orange County right now. The elevation, we're not that much above sea level, or I can't imagine that we are. This is really tasty. Let's take a look at the scorecard. All right, friends, that is it for me. Another freeze-dried meal, grilled chicken and mushroom wild rice pilaf from the folks with AlpineAire, Switzerland-based company that's been around since 1979. Now, of course, it's that time of the video where I'm going to start shutting off the cameras. And so I will remind you, if you are interested in trying out this meal, I will put links down below. I'll also put links to other freeze-dried meal reviews that we've done as well. If you have any questions with regards to any of the meals that you are watching us review here, by all means, leave some comments down below. I'll be happy to answer what I can. But this is pretty tasty. And with that said, well, it's curtains down, friends. I will see you during the next review. So, hey, you get out there, stay healthy, and find your adventure.